Hi Instagram. That's how I always start Instagram lives. Hi Instagram. As many of you know me, my name is Victoria and I'm a nurse here in Canada. And generally, nurses are needed for those who are older because it's just natural that as older we get, as more health issues we start having in our life, and therefore we need some assistance. However, today I wanted to talk about youth health. It's heartbreaking to see the real pandemic, not the one which we had a few years ago, but the real pandemic, which was actually influenced or catalyzed by the C pandemic, due to isolation, due to increased stress, due to increased usage of the electronics. I remember my kids were young at that time, like younger. They had online school, and the electronics, it's something inevitable that happens in our life. You can't live nowadays without the phones, without all the gadgets. However, when it's like when it creeps in, it's virtually impossible to push it out, or at least very hard, way harder. So at the same time, I don't want to sound like the older lady who's like, well, when I was young, we still use this line sometimes at home. When I was young, we used to, read books. My kids barely read. Yet, at this time of our lives, I think the brain needs different neuron connections than the ones we had when we were growing up. Anyway, the point is that growing up right now, in my opinion, is way harder than growing up when we were younger. We had a different social pressure when we were younger, and we had to do the scouts in Soviet Union did. But I have not seen it with my own eyes, but I've seen the situations when the teenage children of somebody who is my age have taken their lives for some reason, one or the other. I can see how hard it is right now for teenagers to sustain a stable mental health, because of all the social pressure and all the craziness. Like, the attention span is so short that to keep this sanity, for us, people who are older and have all the tools, right? Like, if you remember how you could keep the sanity by referring back to the feeling you already had, that feeling of sanity, when you have this feeling of being grounded and being present, and then when you feel fidgety, you just instantly go to that place when you feel grounded, and that's why you practice, for example, yoga, right? Like, you come back to that place of being grounded, and that's how you deal with stress. We have a point of reference. We know how it feels. We used to feel that, or we can get it from our memory faster than teenagers. First, because we have a bigger, it takes bigger space in our consciousness than in our children. Our children may have just tiny bit of that space when they feel grounded. Okay, as a nurse, what can I suggest and what can I do? It really hurts me because I have teenage children, and when I see that teenagers losing their lives, and I don't know exactly the reason for that, but I do know that stress contributes immensely. and I can see how many triggers, how many stress factors right now our teenagers are exposed to. It terrifies me, breaks my heart, and pushes me to do something. Normally, I don't even talk about the teenage health. If I talk about as a nurse, I talk about elderly care because that's what my business is built on. But it doesn't matter. I'm a holistic nurse and I work holistically with anybody. It's not regulated by age. Just normally people who are older, they seek my assistance. So what advice can I give as a nurse, as a holistic nurse, as a mom of the teenager children, to somebody who has kids who are undergoing this? Every single child on earth right now is exposed to that, because it's just like their pressure is immense. Any person, okay, now it's a little bit like tools, right? What do we do other than just like taking the freaking phone and just like, it's not the tool that will be sustainable, because if we manage their phone time, they never learn, right? I still do it because I'm like, okay, you're not capable of managing your own time. I have to take it. We still have this custom when kids put the phone on the credenza, most often than not, but anyway, it's not a sustainable tool, because then they will never learn. The tools we use are the tools, and like kudos for anybody who can do it without using the tools. But what we can do as parents and as a nurse, what I can tell you, to have this space taken by something other than the electronics or other than the social pressure. You have to have this space filled with something else. And it's all energy. So this space is being filled with their family traditions, family values, family energy. As stupid as may sound, but that's what would take most of the space inside of the child's consciousness, and therefore the other things, and as if they have solid values, which, oh my gosh, everyone talks about that. Like, why do I need to talk about that as a nurse? But I talk about as an energy worker to you right now. So family, the first, my holistic approach is based on the 7 bodies. We have a physical body and 6 subtle bodies. So, and it's linked to the chakras, the energetic centers. So the very bottom chakra, the root chakra, Sahasrara, is linked to our family energy. And you can have the other chakras working well, but if the root chakra doesn't work, then the person is like spaced out. And that's what happened to our children. If you look at the teens, they're all fucking spaced out. They're all like, oh yeah, in the Lululand, living in the fantasy world, because the top chakras, the higher chakras, they are filled from a different source of energy. And those channels, like the virtual world, is really good with filling those chakras. But if your root chakra is not connected, if your root chakra is not working properly, and it only works properly when we are getting the energy to the root chakra comes from being connected to the roots, and the roots are the earth. If you are connected to the earth, if you are connected to nature, and the family energy, because we are still real people, we still come from the mom's vagina or C-section or whatever, we still have our father and the mother energy inside of us, and that's where the root chakra energy comes from. And if the root chakra does not work, then any other chakras are the next after the root chakra is the chakra of the desires. Like, forget about the other chakras. We need to make sure that the root chakra is connected. Otherwise, the person is going to be disconnected from the reality. So If you don't believe, and it's been told gazillion of times, it's been written everywhere, everyone speaks about that we need to have the values, and then the children will not will not, they will keep their values, and therefore they will become good people, and blah 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 blah. Okay, like, how do you keep values if somebody who is like tells you to F yourself and go, and you don't need anything, because that's what the teenage children do. And when I see that families lose teenage children due to stress, I'm in a, not in a panic mode, but I'm in the mode of like, okay, what can we do, and why, and how do we instill these good values in a child? Okay, if nothing works, like I don't know, Christmas dinners, it's only once a year, and family conversations, I'm not like, you could find your own traditions to instill, but you need to understand why it is important. It is important from the energetic point of view. It is important because if their Sahasrara doesn't work, and I'm not in any Eastern tradition, it's just because everyone knows the Sahasrara and the chakra system, but they are true energetic centers in our physical body, and there are true energetic centers in our subtle bodies, that I don't care what religion you belong to, I don't care what you believe or not believe. Like, I am a nurse, I believe in science, there are energetic channels, the acupuncture uses those energetic channels, any energy worker knows about those energetic channels. The acupuncture, like, I mean, what can be more scientifically proven than acupuncture? So there are energetic channels in our body, there are subtle bodies, because that's what energetic channels are working on our energy bodies. So to make your child more grounded, work on the first energy center, on the Sahasrara. There are some food or some other techniques, like physical activity, connection to the earth, and connection to your family tree, to your family channels. It is super important to connect to, like, to make sure your family energy works, your family not family energy, well, yeah, family energy flows through these channels. But it is really important to connect to your family roots. So building a family tree. If you have no questions, just like shoot me there. I need to go right now, but put a comment and I will kind of like elaborate on that more. But start discovering, like, I mean, God forbid you find yourself in the position when you will use any tools, but I know families who will use any freaking tools that are possible, that whether they believed in them before or not. But when I see that family lose teenage children due to stress, I'm like, you have to tell them that. Like, I mean, how would you feel if you could have told and somebody could have heard and could have avoided a tragic event? How would you feel if you didn't do that, right? All right, well, connection to the earth, connection to the family energy, discovering what connections are broken in your family relationship. That is huge. And when you look at that, like, every area of your life, it will have a ripple effect, and every area of your life will be affected in a good way. You may go through some bumpy roads in the beginning, but restoring your energy flow, your family energy flow, is super important, and it will help your children, because our children, that's how the hierarchy works. Our children are picking up whatever we as parents haven't resolved in the energetic sense. So if your energy connections are all screwed up, you can be sure that your child will pick up this baggage. There is no other way. Either you or your children, okay? And there are many kind of, signs to see, like signs which you can kind of like pick up that, oh, I guess, my energy doesn't flow really well, my family energy. You probably will know if you have like everyone has family issues. Like, I mean, there is no family with no issues. And it doesn't mean that one day we'll land in this position when everything is full glowing and everything is great. No, it's a work in process. We may not ever land in the position when everything is perfect. But if you don't do anything, it's not going to be better. It's only going to be worse. All right. I hope it all made sense to you, and if you didn't, listen again, because it's true. We need to save somehow these poor teens, poor guys. They are so. My teens say, "Oh, we are fine." They're like, "Mom, it's not 1948. I was not born back then yet." But that's how they talk to me. Like they don't know the difference because they don't know otherwise, which is great. Like, I think it's easier for them than for us who know like a different, how life used to be. And the point is not to change it, but the point is to still give them all the tools and all the energy they need to grow up. Okay, so an energy from your family is super important. It is an essential energy, more important than the food and the drinks and the sleep. It's actually not more, but as important. It's an essential energy for any healthy body. Okay, stay healthy. Have a good day. Bye.